Hi and welcome to MTB Cooking. Today we share with you how to make a Brunsviger, a traditional Danish coffee cake. So there's no coffee in it, but we like to eat it with coffee, served warm. Let's start out by making the dough. It's actually a bread dough. So we start out by mixing whole fat cream and melted butter. And there might be some lumps forming now, but that is not a problem at all. We're going to also add some fresh baker's yeast, so that's also why it's a bit of a bread dough actually. You could substitute this with dry yeast, and we are going to leave all the measurements and ingredients amounts below the video. As you see, there are even more lumps now that we have added the yeast, and that's completely fine. We'll add cane sugar, just a little bit. It's not a very sweet dough. We're going to add a bit of salt and then an egg. And actually the egg is going to work as an emulsifier, so it's gonna make the whole mixture a bit more homogeneous, which is already really nice. So once we're at this step, we can start to add in the wheat flour. So we do this a little at a time. This is very important in order for us to make sure that all of the flour will be absorbed by the liquids. And there is of course plenty of fat in this dough. You can see that we've added both cream and butter, and that is what's going to make it so scrumptious. We have shifted to a wooden spoon here because the whisk was just too weak to actually work with the dough as it becomes harder and harder, and it's a dough that we don't need to knead by hand. We're just mixing the ingredients well in the bowl using a spoon. And once your dough looks like what you see here, it's actually gonna be ready for rising. And as you can see, it doesn't stick to our hands or anything because of course, the fat amounts in the dough, but also because it is really well combined and the ingredients are just measured perfectly. So we're going to leave it to rise for 1 hour, just on the kitchen table, with a clean kitchen towel over the bowl. Once that hour has gone by, we can take a look at our dough, which has risen nicely. It's already a lot bigger and full of air. And what we can do is put it into a cake tin, and we've just lined it with a bit of baking paper in the bottom, and we've greased the sides. And now it's all about just spreading out the dough without getting rid of all that air. So be gentle with it and just make sure that it's plain in the bottom of this cake tin. We're going to leave it to rise for yet another half hour. So we're still going to leave it on the kitchen table with a clean kitchen cloth on top. And we are going to now make the topping for the cake. So it's a mixture of brown sugar and melted salted butter. And we always tend to use salty butter in Denmark. It's actually almost the only kind of butter you can find. We do like a little bit of salty twist in our cakes as well. So once the ingredients are well combined, they're ready for it being topped onto the cake, and it has now risen for yet 30 more minutes. Just by using the fingers, it's possible to poke these small holes or pockets in the dough so that the topping can hide nicely in those holes. Just spread on that sweet and buttery topping, kind of evenly all over. And then it's important to have preheated the oven to 200 degrees Celsius, that's around 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And then the cake will go in for only 15 minutes. After those 15 minutes, what we have is a piping hot Brunsviger. So as you can probably tell by the images here, the crusts on the sides, they are kind of crispy, but at the same time they are still soft and spongy, which is just amazing. We can assure you that this is a great cake, and we actually like to serve it up quite warm. So we're gonna cut a piece here quite early on after having pulled it out of the oven. And we're going to show you what it looks like. So the cake here at this stage is not very solid, as you can see. It's still warm and it's still soft, but in an amazing way, we can assure you. In some parts of Denmark, you would serve this up with a little bit of whipped cream on the side or on top even. We do that here just to satisfy that part of the country, but in my opinion it doesn't need it because it's already quite fatty. There's already cream in the cake, and it really has everything in its bread dough, and then this sweet and buttery topping that has melted and hidden in those small pockets made by hand. This is an amazing cake. It really should be eaten on the day that it's made. That's the day when it's the best. But if you want to eat it the next days after, you could also just heat up a piece in the microwave at low effect, just to sort of make it come to life again. Thanks for watching MTB Cooking. We hope you like this video and that you'll give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet done so, please subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time in yet another video. Bye.